Hey guys, just a quick video. I wasn't going to come back and do a video right away, but I just saw this and felt like I needed to say something about it. Um, they have dropped bombs on the Russian Nord Stream pipelines. The explosion caused an earthquake. Now, there's lots of debate on who did this and who would do this. This, to me, has all the trappings and smells like a rat. Smells like New World Order to me. This is globalism right going on right here, because as you know, Russia had cut off the gas to Europe, and Europe was like, "Oh man, we really need that gas," and basically they shot themselves in the foot by saying, "Oh, we're not gonna give you, we're not gonna pay for your gas anymore. We'll show you Russians." And now the Europe's like, "Oh, now what are we gonna do? Oh, we just cut off our own leg to spite our face, So what this has done is basically said it's made it. Russia cut off their gas, but they could have still negotiated something. They could have said, "Okay, well, fine, we'll capitulate and we won't be against you anymore." So who would go to this level of sabotage to destroy the actual pipeline, basically ensuring that Europe will go into a winter of darkness? In other words, this wasn't a destruction against Russia. This was a destruction against Europe and anybody else who could benefit from this pipeline, right? So you have to see kind of the forest for the trees, like who would do this, because they had already cut it off, right? And they already said, well, we're not going to give it to you. And they're already kind of struggling and trying to get it from Israel and other places. But there's that hope that perhaps they might reconsider and try to renegotiate. And maybe Russia realizes it's kind of gone too far, and then Europe's like, hey, maybe we've gone too far, and so the globalists are like, no, we're going to make this world war happen. We're going to make this world destruction happen. We are going to eliminate 95% of the population. That's what they want to do by 2030 in their AGENDA. So this is, I think, a way to kind of kill the baby, so to speak. It's almost like Solomon dividing the baby. Solomon, the two women came to him and they had to decide which woman the baby belonged to, and he's like, well, just cut the baby in half and give it to give them each half. And then of course the real mother steps forward and said, no, don't kill it. And then the other mother said, yeah, kill it. So then you knew right away which one the baby belonged to. So this is kind of like killing the baby. It's like, who would do this, right? Russia wouldn't have any real incentive to do this, and really Europe would have no incentive to do this. So the only people who have an incentive to do this would really be the globalists, who want to destroy the entire planet and bring about the great of the set. R-E-S-E-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-E-T, take out, K-L-A-U-S, Schwab. Suck it to me. Okay. Anyway, on the verge of global conflict, special forces dropped 100 TNT bombs on the Russian Nord Stream pipelines. The explosions caused an earthquake. Energy developments, Russia expected to retaliation expected. But really, if you think about it, which pipelines, if this destroyed the pipelines that were going to Europe, it's in the Baltic Sea. So I don't know, it might have been destroying pipelines that were going to other places. But just to me, it just smells like New World Order. It smells like NWO right here. That's what it smells like. It just smells like we're trying to destroy the world. We want to destroy the current system. We're destroying the financial system. We're destroying the political system. We're destroying, the social contract system. We're destroying everything. And so we're going to destroy your resources too. So you literally are going to go into the dark ages. You're literally going to go into a time of darkness where you can't even get the oil if you want to. So it says energy developments at the global level are triggered by the blowing up of the Russian natural gas pipeline Nord Stream 1 and 2. According to information, a group of underwater expeditions of an unknown country placed bombs in the thick of an unknown country. Yeah, i.e. the hidden country of the New World Order, order out of chaos. That's the country that we're talking about, is the unknown country. The unknown country are the people really pulling the strings behind the scenes. Placed bombs in the thick concrete-coated steel pipes located at the bottom. The Swedish seismologist Bjorn Lund even reported that at least 100 kilograms of TNT, even more, must have been used for these explosions. The Norwegian seismic array, NORSAR, pointed out that the earthquake caused, so it caused an earthquake. It not only blew up the pipes, but it caused an earthquake. That's how big this was. So it might have been a tactical NUKE that they used. It says that the earthquake caused, because what is a tactical NKE, but it has the same value of like 100 TNT bombs, right? What does it say up here? 100 TNT bombs? Yeah, that's basically what a tactical NUKE is. So that's probably what was used. The German gas network operators said that the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines have suffered a major rupture. They have been opened over a long distance. There is natural gas leak with a diameter of 1 kilometer in the Baltic Sea. The pipelines are finished. They aren't going to work until the end of the year and probably never again. Whoa. So you just kind of killed everybody right there, right? So only the psychopathic globalists would do something like that, because they're not even thinking about themselves. They just want everyone to die. It's like the psychopath, the supervillain that just wants to kill himself with everybody else, you know. So these people are just going to go through winter and freeze to death. You know, they're going to have no gas. They're not even a way to negotiate getting the gas, because now they've destroyed even the way to get it to you, right? So it's like, you know, they've killed the baby. They've killed the baby. The pipelines are finished. They aren't going to work. Okay, this was followed by 2 powerful underwater explosions in the Nord Stream pipelines. According to Sweden's National Seismic Network, one of the explosions caused a magnitude 2.3 earthquake. Okay, guys, is this not strategic NUKEs? Come on. Or tactical. It caused a 2.3 earthquake. How else are you going to do that? It's not like you can get a bunch of sticks of dynamite and bring them all, you know, underwater. You know, it's one of those underwater NUKEs. Come on, it's got to be. The explosions created 2 leaks in Nord Stream 1, one in the Swedish EEZ and one in the Danish EEZ. They're very close to each other. According to information, Nord Stream 2 also was attacked. There was a sudden loss of pressure in 3 individual pipes. So 3 different pipes were hit by this. One in Nord Stream 2, 2 pipes in Nord Stream 1. What I want to get is who do these pipes serve specifically? The Russian-U.S. conflict is now out of control. If the explosions were caused by an American Special Forces operation, then Moscow will react. Unfortunately, the conflict is spreading. The 3 leaks in 2 pipelines are the result of sabotage. Well, that is clear. The hole in Nord Stream 2 is really big. Denmark is talking about a large leak. We can see a lot of gas coming out, so it's not a small leak. It's a really big crack. The Danish Energy Authority points out and warns that gas leaks from the Nord Stream pipelines will continue for days. Okay, so here's some video of the leak going on, I guess. And maybe even explosions. A major gas leak. Oh, yeah, you can see all the oil there in the water. A major gas leak has been seen from the damaged Nord Stream 2 pipeline in the Baltic Sea, which is a really big hole, according to the Danish Energy Authority. Is that an official term, really big hole? The head of the authority says the gas leak will continue for several days, perhaps even a week. It's very scientific. It's a really big hole. Look at that. Wow, it really is a big hole. Man, it's just pouring out of there. Oh, man, that is intense. It's like a whirlpool in reverse. Look at that. Oh, man, it is just pouring out. Man, if you thought the whole Exxon Valdez thing was a big deal, or the BP, you ain't seen nothing yet. Baby. The head of the authority says the gas leak will continue for several days, perhaps even a week. He adds that the large amount of bubbles on the surface indicates that the holes in the pipe is too large. Now, again, you could argue, well, maybe this is sabotage just to get rid of their oil supply, but you're just hurting everybody when you do that. You know, everybody needs it. So, again, only a psychopath would do this kind of stuff. Denmark's Maritime Authority has issued a shipping warning as warning ships not to sail within 5 nautical miles of spills, as they may lose buoyancy. There may be a risk of ignition above water, the DE said. Nord Stream 1 pipeline has been damaged. Watch videos from the Baltic. All right, here's another video. Let's see this one. Wow. It's bubbling. Bubbling up like a bubbling crude came a tumbling down. It's like, what's that song? The Beverly Hillbillies? And up from the ground came a bubbling crude. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. Sweden's Foreign Minister Ann Lind said the Swedish government is calling an emergency crisis meeting over sabotage against the Nord Stream pipeline in Swedish waters, and the Danish Energy Authority declares a state of emergency. Sweden's National Seismic Network reported 2 powerful underwater explosions in the Nord Stream pipelines. One of the explosions created a 2.3 earthquake. Oh, man. One of the explosions had a magnitude of 2.3 and was recorded at up to 30 measuring stations in southern Sweden. There's no doubt that these are explosions. The first explosion was recorded at 2 o'clock on Monday night, and the other at 19:04 on Monday night. Okay. Warnings about the gas leaks came from the Maritime. SVT has received the coordinates of the explosions. They're located in the same area where the gas leaks were recorded. Who could be the perpetrator of the attack? According to Russian sources, an expeditionary attachment of U.S. Navy ships led by the amphibious assault ship U.S. Kearsarge was in the area. The U.S. Kearsarge was from the site of the Sabotage Nord Stream gas pipeline. On the other hand, the leak is near the Danish island of Bornholm in a depth of 70 meters. It could be a special forces dive. As far as Russia is concerned, spy submarines with special bottom capabilities are no longer in the Baltic. Sure. Today, the Russian Navy has the largest fleet of spy submarines in the world. These are based in the Arctic. Not even the special Russian submarine Belgorod is in the Baltic, currently active in the White Sea. If the Russians did it themselves, it may have been done either by Russian Spetsnaz divers that with autonomous underwater vehicles or underwater drones. A news center. Now, I mean, it is possible, though I think unlikely. I don't see any reason why Russia would feel the need to do that. I could see them doing it from the standpoint like, oh, well, we can't give you the oil because unfortunately the pipe has been broken. And that could be, it could be a thing of maybe they do it because they're afraid people will try to siphon the oil or something. I don't know. But it seems unlikely that it was them doing it to themselves because that's a lot of money they don't want to lose. A new center for their development is located in St. Petersburg. Some of them may be suitable for such business. Because now they can't hold that over the EU. If the pipeline doesn't work anymore, then they can't even hold that as a, oh man. And this leads us to Ezekiel 38 and 39, coming for the plunder. Because if they're sabotaging what Russia currently has, then they're going to want to go after Israel and their oil and their gas to help replace that. That's interesting. If the Russians did it themselves, they may have done other, new center for St. Petersburg. Some of them may be suitable. However, Russian sources recall that U.S. President Biden said about Nord Stream will no longer exist. Gee, it's kind of like when he says, we have the greatest elect to the shun of the fraud system in place in history. And then they committed the greatest elect to the shun to the fraud in history. They always seem to know these things before they happen. How is that? Nord Stream will no longer exist. Kind of like Mr. T will leave office. He will not stay in the House of White. We will remove him. Yes, because they already know what they're doing. They already have a plan. This is all going according to plan, guys. Nord Stream will no longer exist. Why would you even say that? See, only a senile older person who can't keep their mouth tight rein is going to release a secret like that. You would never say it's no longer going to exist. Well, now he's saying, oh, we're going to replace it with natural things or whatever. But he literally said it will no longer exist. We will put an end to this. See, guys, they're trying to send us back to the Stone Ages. They want to put us back into, caves. They want us to live like slaves. They want us to live like serfs. They want us to own nothing and love it. Well, nobody ever loved it. That's why society expanded and created all these other advancements, because nobody loved it. Okay, nobody loved it. Nobody loved living in impoverished situations. Nobody loved living in squalor. Okay, that's why they invented the pipeline and things like that, to have modern facilities that they have. So trying to end all that, they want to put us back in the Stone Ages so that they can come out with all their technology that they've hung on to. And it's like, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, right? So, I mean, they have all their technology in their area of the 5-1 and different things they've been developing for years, decades, and centuries. And they're keeping a lot of that stuff secret so they can always stay ahead of the game. Meanwhile, they send us back to the Stone Age. Well, then they can really rule like tyrants at that point, because what do you have but sticks and stones to fight back with against the robots, the Terminator takeover, so to speak. So how will this be done since it belongs to the jurisdiction of Germany? See, he even says this. So he says, Nord Stream will no longer exist. We'll put an end to this. And he even asked the question, the journalist asked the question, how will this be done since it belongs to the jurisdiction of Germany? I promise we'll be able to do it. Who? Who's we? Who's we? With trillions at your disposal, Mr. B? With trillions at your disposal? You and King Chucky over there? I mean, who's we? Mr. Klaus of the SCHWAB? Or Harar to the E? I mean, who's we? Right? Oh, man. I don't think we need to hear him say that. I think reading it was more than enough. Russia cannot rule out any scenario, even sabotage of the Nord Stream 1 and 2 natural gas pipelines, said Kremlin spokesman Peskov, who expressed his concern over these developments, referring to an issue concerning the energy security of the entire European continent. Exactly. It's like, this didn't hurt Russia, guys. This hurt Europe. You got to understand, guys, the people who are doing all this and behind all this is not Russia and China, okay? They just happen to be in the middle of it all. The people who are doing this are the people leading the Western nations. They're the ones who are put there by crooks, tyrants, cabal that want to destroy the modern world. They want to destroy the modern world. They want to take us back to the Stone Age, okay? And that's what they're going to do. That's why the tribulation is the greatest time ever on earth, is because it's a return to the Stone Age. And it's going to be the most suffering because it's not only a return to the Stone Age, but a return to the Stone Age with futuristic technology dictators. Like, they have all the technology and you're the one in the Stone Age. They're not in the Stone Age. They're going to have their technology. They're going to their bunkers. They got all their special equipment protected and so forth. But they want to wipe out the modern world so then they can come out like the saviors and say, oh, we have everything you need. Just take the mark and bow to us and we will give you all. Right? And people will. Because people are, come on. If you study people for any minute amount of time, you realize people are foolish, unfortunately. And they don't think, and they just follow. And they're like sheep without a shepherd. And that's why you need Jesus. So we cannot rule anything out. Obviously, there's some kind of disaster in the pipeline. Nobody can rule out anything about what it caused it until we have the results of the investigation. This is extremely worrying news. We're talking about a pipeline disaster. We still don't know what kind it is. It appears to be in the Danish economic zone. The pressure has decreased significantly. This is an issue that concerns the energy security of the entire continent. So I wonder if Denmark, I don't know what the status is in Denmark. We know the EU had shut it off and they weren't doing business with Putin anymore. But I wonder if Denmark was still getting their oil from Putin, and maybe this was the globalists saying, take that, Denmark, you're going in, you're going to be destroyed along with Europe, along with America. I don't know. Germany suspects sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines. Buy time for industry if a winter emergency. Oh, at the same time, the energy regulator announced that Germany's stockpiles would help buy time for industry if a winter emergency rises. If it arises, guys, we're going into October right now. Okay, you're there. You're already there. It's already getting cold in Europe by now, or cool at least, if you don't want to call it cold yet, but. You're already there. They're not going to fix this by the end of the year, they already said. So, see, I think Germany was, because from what I heard recently, I think Germany was trying to, I don't know, work out a deal or something perhaps, because their people are going to suffer, man. People in Europe are going to suffer big time. And they're already putting back in the MASK mandates, and they've got military on the streets. They've gone back to NIZI Germany. We cannot imagine a scenario that is not targeted sabotage. Right? Everything speaks against coincidence. Special forces such as divers or submarine. Yeah, it caused a 2.5 earthquake. I don't think that's just some rupture of a pipe. Okay? That's tactical NUKE. We are dealing with an act of sabotage. We still don't know the details of what happened, but we clearly see that it's an act of sabotage. Well, I mean, if you know it has the force of 100 TNT bombs, I mean, put two and two together, it doesn't take much. Okay, so what? We're looking at Poland, Denmark. I got to get out a real map to see more of this, but or at least one in English would be nice. But I can at least make out Poland and Denmark. And let me just go down a little bit more here, see what else they got. Wow, so that's the big bubble. But I guess it's 2 pipelines in 3 places that was hit. So let me. Oh, okay. So here's the Nord Stream pipeline. Let's look at this map here. See what this one shows. Okay, so here's a better picture. So, wow. So that serves Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Russia, Poland. Obviously, it's coming from Russia through the Baltic, going to Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Poland. It's probably serving all those nations, I would imagine. It's got offshoot pipes probably that go to each of those nations. But it was near Denmark that it happened. So they hit it on the European side. They didn't hit it on the Russian side. They hit it on the European side of things. And to kind of cut off Europe completely from any possibility of getting that oil. So, wow, guys. So that's pretty intense. So just wanted to give you that update, and didn't want to do a long video here. Just a short one. But love you guys. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Hope to see you in heaven before I see you again here. All the best, all the blessed, and Merry.